glad to have you all here today to witness the screening, the opening. Oh. Do I just click the button here? Or am I good? Oh, okay. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for choosing this breakout room. You're about to see, for the first time, a screening of a documentary created by, well, about the life of Ernie Lennie. It's called Traveling the Red Road with Ernie Lennie. So the story comes to life. Well, you know what? I won't step on it too much. I'll let you introduce it. But joining us today, we have Ernie Lennie. We have Malcolm Wilson, I believe. And it was led by, the story comes to life through interviews led by Jarred Novoligak, right? Weaving together intergenerational knowledge and inspiration. But you don't want to hear from me, you want to hear from the creators of the documentary themselves. So I'd like to welcome up Malcolm to introduce. And the youth, sorry.
Thanks. Come on, Ernie, come on over. You're a creator too. Hey, is that actually projecting? Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Robin. I was leading this project last year when I worked with the STEM team. There's the new STEM coordinators, but I wanted to make sure that we finish this project. And this is a project with Malcolm, Ernie, and unfortunately Jarred is not able to be here, but Jarred is the interviewer in the film. So I just wanted to give you a bit of context. The STEM program started a junior researcher program to teach youth kind of different skills in the science and in academic fields. And Malcolm was really interested in filmmaking. So we kind of really went from there. And we started with a story interviewing Ernie about storytelling. But I hope that when you watch this film, you'll realize that it's about a lot more than just storytelling. And I found spending lots and lots of time with Malcolm editing this footage as a non-Indigenous person, I really learned a lot about how people communicate in different ways, and I hope you'll see that in the film because it was really impactful for me. I don't know if Malcolm, you want to say anything before the film or? Nope. No. Yeah. And I told Malcolm that he has to get at least one question, so someone has to ask Malcolm at least one question. Okay, so we'll, I think, take it away. And without further ado, the film.
Thank you, my friends. We'll see you after. One live to the world.
Been a long journey. Cough off. But today I just want to give thanks for all of us being here. Masi. It's been a long day. But Masi nahandeke jo amigo de Masi. The people's land here, I thank them all. But my heart and my song going to be here for the people, for wellness, for goodness, and for healing. Because we need it in all our communities. It's not only here. Oh man, where I come from and coming here is two different worlds of my people. Because my family comes from this side. We're still in the bush on the other side of that mountain. We're still traditional, trying to keep it like that. So with that, if I'm just going to sing a song for protection, goodness, healing of people.
full name is Joseph Ernest Lennie. People kind of find that confusing because all my life I've been known as Ernie Lennie, but it's actually my middle name, Ernest.
My name's Jarred Novoligak, and from Cambridge Bay, Nunavut. So the first question we came up with is just, what is storytelling?
Storytelling. Well, when I look back in the culture, I think every culture has storytelling as a means of passing on knowledge, traditional knowledge. In our case, living on the land where our ancestors come from, that's what it was all about. And how they passed their knowledge on was, of course, through their language. And a lot different from today, I think, is that we learn by doing, by observing most of the time.
A lot of people do learn that way, yeah.
Yes,
For sure.
and as an Indigenous person, I see that it's quite challenging to have a kind of a land-based curriculum where you're learning on the land, whether it's to harvest or to hunt, to provide for your family is one thing, and of course in today's society where because we're being taught in English and we're learning stories in English, a lot of our stories come from that kind of background, and of course it's a big difference from our language and how we learn and relate that way. So yeah, storytelling me is just it's a natural way of communicating.
Yeah, because it's definitely it's important, you know, as we get older.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I'm a big brother.
Yeah.
You are an elder, I think. You're
Yes.
becoming one, maybe.
Yeah.
Whatever you're a helper, you said earlier.
Well, I'm being very humble. I'm being very humble about it. In one way, I mean, we're always surprised that, as our elder said, when I was young, you know, time passes quickly. Well, when you're young, you never think about it. You think time is forever. But when you get to this place in time where you're considered a senior citizen, like I think recently, because in Indigenous communities, so many of our people left this world during COVID, that normally someone of my age, say 69, 70, is still considered, you know, a young person. But because we lost so many elders now, we're the next in line
Right.
to carry on what we have learned from them, and I guess it's time for us, you know, as I call myself young people, still learning. I call myself an elder in training because I have a lot left to learn from that traditional knowledge of living on the land. It's still something that that's very close to my heart, to be able to live on the land. But because of work and stuff, we're forced in a way to leave our community and, you know, and work in other environments in different places and stuff like that. So unless you can sustain yourself in your community and if there's work there, then, you know, you have to move. That's basically what,
Right.
yeah.
So you said you don't see yourself as an elder yet?
No,
Because I feel, you know, you don't have all the knowledge that you feel you need, right?
Yeah.
Like
well, it
on
has
the
to.
land
It,
stuff,
it,
or-
it has to do with identity. Most of my life, like I said, I haven't gone through 10 years of residential school. I lost a lot of things in the sense of my language or my way of life of hunting on the land. of living in my community. I've been traveling most of my life, and with different cultures, different people. Because of cross-country skiing, I lived all across Canada, and so I've lived in many cultures, and maybe that's why I feel comfortable today traveling and meeting people.
Hmm. What is the responsibility of being a storyteller?
What I found coming back to university at 69, sitting with young people, a lot of things I experienced back in the 60s and 70s and 80s that they write on in the book and history is kind of limited from different people's perception. A lot of only now as I come back to university that I see a lot of literature on the struggle of Indigenous people to tell their story.
Okay. Huh.
And so I kind of feel a responsibility that way. There's been other elders before me, there's been other writers, there's been other artists before me who I have learned from. And it's everyone's unique. In my case, I think what's been interesting about the family ties, your community ties to your people, your community, what kind of keeps you going.
Okay.
For me, that's what was missing in my life. That was what was kind of broken with residential school, is being displaced and growing up in a different environment with nuns and priests,
Disconnected.
with different values. It separated me from my community because I can't, when I came home, I couldn't communicate with my elders, can't talk the language, so I couldn't get a lot of teachings from them. Plus, 10 months of the year I'm in residential school, so I can't be out on the land. I'm not harvesting, I'm not doing anything like that. Most of my learning is coming from books. So again, that's part of what I see, what's there and what's missing. So for me, it's really important to make that connection, especially with my family. You know, a lot of them have never actually heard the story from me.
Yeah, I appreciate the time you're giving us right now. You did touch on it a bit. I mean, it is vulnerable to be a storyteller, but you have to like build yourself up to be able to just tell a story, right?
Yeah, I think that's why I'm here today. I think it's not by accident. I think, like I shared in my story, because of residential school being taken as a child, I'm still working with this little boy in me for me to get out, to overcome my fear and overcome my shyness.
You deserve to.
Yeah. And this is where I'm kind of at today, is for the first time I'm kind of sharing my experience with young people, and I think that's what's helping me kind of complete my journey, because like I said, who I am today is because of what I was given. Yes, it was a horrible experience with residential school being taken away, but out of darkness comes something good. I was challenged because I was separated, so one way for me to overcome that was to be an athlete, you know. So my experience as a cross-country skier, having gone to the Olympics in '76, is there's not a very not very many Indigenous people that have that opportunity to leave their community and see the world. So, so I've had a different type of education, not just in going to school, but actually traveling, seeing other countries, seeing other cultures, living with different people across Canada. It's I suppose in some ways I've got a different kind of worldview because of that experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it set you up to be a better storyteller? You must have, I think.
Oh, yes.
More experience.
Yeah, I think that's what makes a storyteller. I think what's kind of interesting now, and I'm just kind of, I always carry things with me like this is just an image of a bumblebee, because why I carry that is that it's part of my story. And what I think a storyteller does, it's an image, and I often use that. Bumblebee, and it's, again, this is how I share about my experience. Why the bumblebee is kind of important to me, that image, is that a long time ago when I was kind of looking for my purpose and who I was, and I went to see an elder down in South Dakota, and as I said, I went out to fast for 2 days and 2 nights without water and got my name. And while I was out there, I'm sitting in a circle of tobacco ties with the 4 different colors, and with what they call a flag, would be a stick with a little, in this case I had in the north was white. We have 4 colors. And on my north flag was a white flag.
Okay.
And our elders tell us to watch everything when we go out, because it's like we're communicating with the spirit world. So for 2 days and 2 nights I was out there fasting, and I was praying, and in the final day, as I sat out there, a big bumblebee was flying around me. I'd never seen a bumblebee like that. It was pretty big. And I was kind of scared, but when you go out there and you sit in this circle of tobacco ties, you're not allowed to leave that area, no matter what, for the time that you're committed. Some people do it for 4 days. I did it for 2 days and 2 nights, but this bumblebee landed on my white flag. And what that bumblebee represents to me is a bumblebee serves a colony. It serves a queen. And what a bumblebee does is it goes out like a scout and it looks for food, going from flower to flower, collecting honey, collecting whatever food that needs for the hive. Then it comes back, and what it does is it dances. It's got a in its dance, it says that this bumblebee tells the hive where the food is. So when I heard, when I thought about, what does that have to meaning with my life? Well, I guess in my search, it's like a bumblebee, looking for honey, looking for knowledge, looking for wisdom. And as I go out and I look for these things, whether it's in university or on the land or learning from elders or whoever I'm learning from, I'm traveling around and I'm collecting this knowledge, something that I think I need or I want. So I collect them. And the thing about the bumblebee, not only is it collecting food and energy for the hive, it's pollinating things. That I didn't see. And that's what a storyteller does, is sharing the wisdom that I learned from my elders, my parents, from whoever, my culture, and I'm sharing that. And with the idea, it's the next generation. Someone taught me, my elders taught me, my coaches taught me, my teachers taught me. And in our culture, there's a giving and receiving. And in our culture, there's a giveaway. There's actually a ceremony they call a giveaway, where whatever the Creator gives to you, whatever gifts the Creator gives to you, you're supposed to give back. So that's part of our culture and our ceremony. So through fasting and through learning from other cultures, this is what it's teaching me, is that this is in nature. This is how nature blooms.
Hey, Ernie. Let's sing for Ernie.
So I hope that people have questions for Ernie and Malcolm. In the mic.
I think I really like the editing part of it. It's pretty fun to figure out what's gonna go in what order and what and how you're gonna do it.
Great question here.
My name is Alan Benjamin. I'm from Old Crow. Sorry, I have a cold or something. I lost my voice the other day. And first, I was involved in a Father Maché test ski program, and I just want to congratulate Ernie on being an Olympian. I know a lot of the test skiers from the Northwest Territories. They used to come over here in the 60s and 70s and we used to train with them. And just to name a few, Harold Cook, Roger Allen, and Fred Kelly. So I remember training with you guys, and I always look up to Olympians, and I still consider myself young. I just turned 68, and I'm still involved with the ski program, and it's really important that we're talking about a health summit and to get you to present your documentary that's phenomenal. And once again, my friend, congratulations on being an Olympian. You're my role model.
Thank you so much. Maybe Malcolm, you can answer the first question.
Um,
What was your question again?
What was one of your challenges? Like, what did you have to overcome?
um, probably filming some stuff, um, especially in the ceremony, for opening ceremony, trying to a lot of technical stuff with filming that happened messed up, but we got it through.
Ernie Mary Jane Moses from Old Crow. Thank you for your inspirational film. Myself, I'm a filmmaker too, and I'm just wondering, we'd like you to come to Old Crow and work with our youth. Masi.
Yeah, yep.
And maybe I'll add some of the challenges, and we just like literally did it with GoPros, and like didn't know how to edit. We just, well, actually, and that's a testament to like how amazing Malcolm is and how methodical. And I really hope that he continues on his career in something technical, because he learned how to use Adobe. He just kept at it and would watch a YouTube video, and so yeah. There was a lot of late nights in the computer lab, and yeah, I don't know if you want to say anything else.
No, I'm good.
Malcolm is now considering film school as a career option. He's just finishing high school, so.
That was going to be my question: is what's next? The film school. What else are you looking forward to in life?
I don't know. I don't know really. But I'd probably go to film school or something else.
Take my question. How closely did you work with Ernie when you were doing the editing components, and then even around sort of the imaging that was picked? Did you work closely with Ernie to think about recording that imaging, or was that something that you had a vision for as you were going through and wanted to capture the story that Ernie was portraying?
He came in and helped me quite a bit, and guided me on what he wanted to show. But overall, he was pretty confident with my ability, and a lot of the shots of the wilderness, I just went out and filmed some stuff. Yeah.
Was there a question on mine?
Yeah, Old Crow Hub says someone had a question, so I'll launch.
We'll go there and then. Crow.
We're going to have to get you to ask again.
Ernie, Mary Jane Moses from Old Crow. Thank you for your inspirational film. Myself, I'm a filmmaker and was really proud to see your film about your culture and your storytelling. We're interested in for you to come to Old Crow to visit with our youth and inspire our youth. Is that possible, Masi?
You can't see it, but Ernie is, yeah, come on.
Masi, Tess, can you hear me? Okay, sorry. Masi Cho, Sir Masi Cho. What's a miracle here is that at 70 years, December 20th, I'll hit 71, so it took me a long time to get here from Oak Grove, 60 years ago. My brothers and me, the Cook family. Father Mouche wanted us to go as a family. Angus, Morris, Ernie. Ernie's still here. Cook family. Harold and David went to Europe to represent us. Me, Trudeau in 69. Kelly, Allen, all families. We would not get there without family. Father Mouche said that in his book. Told it to Björger. Remember that. They're not going to get there without their family. So when I was the last man standing in North Bay, no one told me. The Ernie and Bert team were the last one coming through. My brother Bert cried for the 1 second he lost in the world to be third behind Billy Coke. You know it, USA. You were chasing us right from the beginning. 1 second, my brother Bert. Don't cry. 74, you became the youngest 15-kilometer champion. Thank you, Father Mouche. Thank you, Old Crow. Thank you, Anuvik Ski Club, and every one of you that helped us to get here. I try to tell them it takes a community. It takes a nation to get you here. I was going down that road for my third Olympics in 79, and no one called me up. Flat broke. Can't ask my friends, family for help. No letters, no phone calls. You just listen up. From 74, being the top 4 in the world juniors, that was my last year as a kid. Now I'm a man and I won the 30-kilometer. But 2.5 minutes, and no one ever give me a time. Not once on that trail did they give me a time and say, Ernie, like Bert when he's going for the World Juniors, Skip Sheldon, you remember that you should have gave him the time. You're 1 second behind. Because if you don't get that mark, like I did, is I don't know where I'm placing in that race. Till I get to the finish, and then they tabulate the results. And then I know that I wasn't failing, and I never cried or made an excuse to start out that race and finish it, and even I was last. That's what it takes, Old Crow. When we started over the mountains, and Father watched us disappear, in an hour and a half we come back, he saw it like I see it.
Just give those young children a chance. Any one of you color. It's not your color, it's your heart. You want to be an Olympian? You want to compete against Red Kelly? Third-degree burns, he won't quit. This is what I'm up against. He won't quit. You want to be the champion? You better give up kissing girls, I told my brother. And they came for me. You want to kiss me? No, I'm running. Full circle, Old Crow. Thank you for inviting me home.
You had a question too?
Yeah, just not so much a question, but I just want to say that this is an incredible little film, and like Ernie's my brother from cross-country ski days from way back when, and like kind of watched each other grow up in different places, and all the skiers. That Father Mouche was a real gift to us. Like he just came into our lives, came into Doris' life too. They were downhill skiers, and this incredible guy came all the way from France to our communities like Old Crow and changed our lives and made us ski and race and work hard and everything. And we went through lives of times of alcohol and stuff like that. But Father was always there and he always told us that if you compete and if you have this tenacity in your life, you're going to do well no matter what comes along. And I just want to say to the cameraman here, like cameramen don't usually like to talk. Their minds are just going, they're editing right now, they're looking at you and editing in their mind right now. And so I just want to say you did a great job, keep going, awesome. One day we're going to see your name on the board. Thanks, Ernie, for sharing your life story.
Had someone from
Okay.
They were saying, Janet would like someone to respond to what Alan said, please.
I don't, what was that they said?
I believe, I'll get them through.
Okay. Something that I just want to share too, which was really interesting for me being a part of this process is, we started with just wanting to talk about storytelling and what the impact of storytelling is. And it was really impactful for me to be part of the editing process and realize that like as we started to piece this story, our story together, that when Ernie would get asked a question, he might not answer it right away directly, the way I might answer a question, but he does answer it. And it was a really beautiful moment for me to realize that people communicate in different ways. And I think it's really exemplified by finishing the documentary with the story of the bee, because the story of the bee is a story within a story, right? And but it answers what actually storytelling is. He does, and Ernie's just wants to make sure that he does justice to the question, and he'll get there. And so it was a really beautiful moment for me. Yeah. Yes.
Again? Okay.
They're just responding to what you wanted. Yeah.
That was Mary Jane, I think.
No, I think they just want you to be acknowledged for what you said.
I just wanted to thank Ernie for being an Olympian and a role model. we always have to have hope. That's what I believe in. Just last Saturday, we were cutting the ski trails, and that's continuing with Father Moshe's legacy. And it takes a whole community to raise a child, so we were starting our ski program again, and Mary Jane asked if it's possible for you to come up and, since you're a role model, to start this program off with us. We want our kids to succeed in sports and cross-country skiing. My mom was, Martha Benjamin was a 1963 ski champion, and she's still living. She'd be 91, and I think sometime this next year, I don't even know. And I remember when I was a kid, she told me, I don't want you to smoke. So I think that's kind of like a message. She wanted me to be an athlete. And I never smoked all my life, just because that one time she told me, she just kind of like, she was strict with us, and that's very important. And I remember training with all the test skiers. We used to run up the mountain, come back, and that was just phenomenal. I remember all the good memories, so I just wanted to congratulate you again on being an Olympian and a role model for all of us.
And I think, yeah, you can't quite see Ernie on screen, but he is nodding his head, I think, in agreement that he would like to come to Old Crow and be there. Yeah, is there any, I know we're kind of running out of time. Is there any final questions for Ernie or Malcolm? Comments? It's really nice that Old Crow can be on the camera with us, because, yeah.
So they know.
Oh, and I should say that after the screening, we'll make the link public on YouTube, and then if you would like to share it with anybody, I think that's.
Oh, and Old Crow has a question.
Okay.
Have I read them?
Yeah.
No question, just waving.
Okay. Thank you. Questions?
I'd just like to share you something as I take my English class and learn to write my thesis. And how can I write a thesis, what I'm telling you in the book. This year I had to go back 60 years when they put me in that Grolier Hall and process it and write it down. My sister witnessed I cried 1,000 tears to come here. My family will never see me cry as I bury them. I celebrate their life, victory. Don't cry. And as I walk these halls, going through these dreams or nightmares, what are you trying to do, Ernie? I'm so tired. I want to quit. I don't tell you that. My elder said, don't say you're tired. Thank you, Meryl Betsina Blonnen. I won't say I'm tired. But as I went to class, I asked the students that I went to school with, I don't know if these stories that I tell that make you cry, because I can't tell them to my family. I don't want them to cry. I want you to tell me. These stories I tell that sometimes make you cry, is it worth it? I ask you, students, Give me some feedback. Because as I walk the streets in Yellowknife or wherever I went to talk to the people, they call me a bullshitter because they don't know what I know. But you remember I walk in your streets and I saw what was going on. Not our leaders, me, while you went back to your office. Now you know why I cry. My elders sent me forth to be a messenger. And as I walk, no one's talking. Came out of COVID. So as I sat in class, I told a story to the students. Young children that weren't even born, as I tell this story. I want some feedback for you. I want you to tell me, what do you think of my stories? English 101. Dear Ernie, thank you for your gift of storytelling. It was a delight to have you join us, share with us. I really like how you're very open with your experience and bring a lot of knowledge into the discussion. Dear Ernie, I appreciate your smiling, your stories, journey with us. You showed us every clog and demonstrated care and support for others, and wishing you all the best with the next step. Keep sharing. As I walk in silence, alone, you feed my fire. I don't know who I am till you tell me. Young man asks a question. You want to know who I am? You got a half hour? I went on stage in Yellowknife. Marie O'Clair, who sent me to Banff to tell stories, he said, Ernie, can you tell your story in half hour? I'm going to dance my vision on earth, Marie. What? I'm going to dance my vision on earth. You sent me to Banff and I came home and I dropped it for Jane and Mum to say, who is Ernie and Fred Kelly? They came out of the old folks' home to watch me perform on stage. I prayed for that gift, for it to come down so I could. Mom, look at that little boy that you sent away. He's on stage now. He's talking about Fred Kelly and how I tried to catch him. Pass me. So that's part of what I'm sharing with you as a storyteller. And my mother, as you keep feeding her. And then you'll have heart and you won't cry like me about, oh, I lost everything behind there. That little boy. As I look back and I look ahead where my elders have been. How strong you are. I got a long way to catch up to you elders that are out there, and you know it. I'm only a doorman. I only carry the rocks. I only light the fire. I hope there are some firekeepers out there. You young men, you step up and you help those elders. They're praying for you. Masicho.
I'm so sorry. We have to wrap it up.
Oh, I can share that with the YSPOR team, and then they can send it to the participants. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for attending. Thank you, Robin, Malcolm, and Ernie. That was incredible. It was amazing to see your inspiration and your creativity, and you have some amazing shots, man. It's great, really amazing. Thank you all so much. It's an honor.